The subject of Putin's remarks. The Minsk Agreements, a ceasefire protocol signed by Ukraine and Russia in 2015, and whether Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky can abide by it. But it was Putin's broad words, not the technical details of the ceasefire, that generated the most clicks in Russia. As for the Minsk Agreements, are they alive and do they have a perspective or not? Said Putin. I believe that there is simply no other alternative. I repeat again, in Kiev they either say they will comply or they say this will destroy their country. The current president recently said that he does not like a single point of these Minsk agreements. Like it or not, it is your duty, beautiful. They have to be fulfilled. It will not work otherwise. Experts speculate about Russia's next move. They may want to check weather forecast for Ukraine. Experts speculate about Russia's next move. They may want to check weather forecast for Ukraine. They might want to check the weather forecast for Ukraine. Once again, Putin has given the world a glimpse into his soul. The Kremlin leader's stance on the Minsk agreement is not new. But his crude language addressing Zelensky in condescending and gendered language left some Russian journalists openly wondering if the president was essentially making a crude joke. Asked in a conference call with reporters whether those remarks imply a sexual subtext, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov replied matter-of-factly. The president meant that when a state commits to certain obligations, when there is a signature of the head of state, these obligations must be fulfilled, he said. Putin's rants keep popping up and have reportedly made light of rape as well. The Russian leader's tough talk is sometimes explained as a kind of folksiness that is a performance for a domestic audience, but Putin's choice of the verb in his remarks Monday, to endure or suffer it, shows an ugly underlying sentiment about the role of women. Asked about Putin's remarks, Zelensky referenced the Russian leader's words in language Putin would understand. Of course, there are some things we cannot argue about with the president of the Russian Federation, Zelensky said. Ukraine is a beauty. As for mine, that is a slight exaggeration. Referring to the phrase about being dutiful and putting up with everything, Zelensky added, I think Ukraine is very patient. Because that is wise. I think this is important not only for Ukraine, but for all of Europe. This is not the first time Putin has used such words. One of his most famous quotes dates back to 1999 when he was still prime minister. Back then, he vowed to crush the Chechen separatists, saying, if they are in the toilet, we will dispose of them in the outhouse. The same is true of the current crisis. When he discards diplomatic language, Putin speaks that we can see him.